Big money, big booty bitches, man, that shit gon' be death for me. Big problems, I must admit it, man, that shit gon' be death for me. I prayed to a C note, my mama gave a pope, I can't stand myself. I just bought a new coat, I might go broke, I can't stand myself. Big money, big booty bitches, man, that shit. Turn me up. Sissy. Big money, big booty bitches, tell the truth, nigga, I'm lost about it. 7 figures for a headline, you want some stage time, we can talk about it. Niggas acting like baby, rapping like Nikes on the mic. Julio, go against the kid, y'all don't wanna live, that decision is hella charged. Rose gold for my old hoes, they ain't satisfied, then I sit them down. 10th grade, I gave her hard shade, but now she got some ass, I won't hit it now. I don't lease, I just sought out feast, I put a blue Caprice on Gary Coleman. Bomb head, that's some cheese eggs, that's a new race, and a sign bonus.
Fall in this bitch like some good pussy, can't stand myself. So good, she's so good, she a cheesehead. Patty Mel, GED with some EBTs and some EBDs, that shit was sad. She reeled me in with some chicken wings and some collard greens, that shit was right. Just cracked me a new bitch, bust a new nut on a nigga's jersey. My bitch got off at 9 o'clock, so I had to shake around. 7:30, 105, I'm stumping fast with these big guns, I'm hella dirty. Get caught with this shit, I ain't coming home till like 20.
I got big money, big booty bitches, man, that shit gon' be death for me. Big problems, I must admit it, man, that shit gon' be death for me. Big dreams, no superstition, man, that shit gon' be death for me. I prayed to a C note, my mama gave a pope, I can't stand myself. I just bought a new coat, I might go broke, I can't stand myself. I just might ban myself, I just might. God
focus feeling messy, cause my eyes be the truth. God focus feeling messy, cause my eyes be the truth.
Mental window blurry as a bitch, still looking at it. So much money off the fucking books, go write a book about it. Took a minute, look, wait a minute. Let me think about it. About 10 years, Crips, Bloods, sweat and tears, and we still counting. Had a real thick bitch named Brooklyn. She fucked the whole squad. Yeah. Every time I land in Brooklyn, they fuck with the whole squad. I'm more spiritual than lyrical. I'm similar to Eli. Why? Because I'm wearing black shades and I'm headed west with the word of God. Amen. Yeah. I think I'm finally ready to talk about it. These niggas just talk about it. Homie, don't play me for no phone. Popping bottles like enemigos. Os Dios mío, I'm so cold. Get so deep in that water, they should call my Johnson a harpoon.
Feed the needy, don't know graffiti. Paint the walls like a cartoon. Beat the pussy up so bad. Send her home with some war wounds. Loaded off the yak, hit her from the back. Go across her head. Bar stool, touch her soul till I cut her toes. Then it's time to reload, then it's part 2.
Them they 30 still step tripping, cause where you from, mama? Say about it. Last year I made 10 million, that's where I've been, yeah. Private island, smoking something off. I probably got too many cars, I might crash with. New Rari pedal barely tapping, nigga. Yeah, rich bitch. Got 2 rollies, but 1 missing. Think my daughter flossing shit. Kindergarten got 1 crib worth, 2 cribs on my front lawn. Yeah, that's what about me? Be talking boss, saying big words like philosophies. Man, you weird, homie, but it sounds to me that you broke as fuck. Your bitch gon' leave, and that's real, homie. Got the shiki on with the fedora on and my round glasses trying to fool the cops out. What you got? All that sneak dissing when you penny bitchin', nigga. Shoot the fade. Ugly nigga, but I'm fine as wine. Did you check your time? I get lower age. Shoot the 9 like 4th grade. Black hippie dropping, eyebrows gray.
I focus feeling blessed, cause my eyes be the truth. I focus feeling blessed, cause my eyes be the truth.
What's going on, y'all? My guy, I saw Chris asked the question, right? He said, dinners. I'm gonna let the chat answer that question. How many of y'all know what dinners are? Let me see if y'all up on game. Let's not talk at one time. Does anybody know? Come on now. Shauna said, duh. Repeat the question. Organs. Goddamn right, Reckless. I want them to say it, but I want to see if we know your organs. Yeah, Reckless know. I know Margaret know. I gotta talk to you too, Margaret. It's an individual. I don't want to do that right now. We ain't gonna do that. Not over here. If all don't know, y'all afraid to just say, hey, look, just say I don't know, and I can actually school y'all. But Reckless already gave you the answer. It's called organs. All right. So we call it that because it's a form of stealing organs. It's like a way of playing off the word. So we call it dinner. She said only because I saw Reckless say it. In the meantime, let's start from the top. Lisselle, do not obey, stay woke. Christina, Christons, Pop Pop, Tayana, Lenore. I could have sworn that's the same name. I thought it was Leonore one day, but you good people. Marsha, Kay the Traveler, Yellow Rose, Kima, what's up? Rain Fire, Rob Black, Gliselle. Gliselle, am I saying your name right? Is it Gliselle or Gliselle? Which one is it? Evolve, I'm sorry, not Volve. Evolve. And that's love spelled backwards, I'm pretty sure. Did I say that right? Am I saying that right? I hope so. Margaret. And of course, my guy, Reckless. Shout out to all kinds of Reckless. Subscribe to Chris Thorne's show, ladies and gentlemen. And here goes his channel. Because I said so. See this guy right here? Subscribe to my guy. We need to get him over 1,000 this week. Can we do that? And like I said, real good guy. Does good blog. What? Huh? What happened? I thought you said something. Yo, you did the story. You did the story. Yeah, she didn't get no jail time, bro. I said, I'm glad you did that. That's the one I had on the meme that looked like the Chihuahua. All right, that's my guy Chris Thorne shot. I gotta subscribe. Ain't that a bitch? Okay, I keep forgetting I'm on my 7th channel, so I'm not on my 6th channel. So, damn, I'm like I ain't even subscribed to my own guy, and I'm telling y'all to do something.
Hey, go ahead, Mary. Hey, play it for him.
Play it for him?
Play it for him, yeah. A lot of people treat you like a state life, so you know what I mean? Hey,
Matter of fact, we're gonna do this 10 minutes. Let's go into the store. Why not?
this shit is programmed, y'all.
Let me bring my chat over here.
I say, y'all, my streams for y'all who watch me and for y'all who follow me.
Boom. Hold on. Roll call. Let's go back to the chat room. Where we left off at? Let's see. Roll call. Okay, Rob. What's up, Rob? Monica. Lee, what's up from Germany? Miss Winston. Chief, what's happening? Sugar and Spice. Shonda. What's up? Sugar. Oh, I always say Sugar and Spice. Boom. Shimmy. What's up, Be Well Driven? Lady Legacy. Michelle Fleming, what's up? Nicole, what's happening? Sherry Glamorous. Here we go. Christina, Lady Ice. Lamar Brand TV. Subscribe to Lamar Brand TV, ladies and gentlemen. Also subscribe to All Kind of Reckless right there. And it's I try to go to sleep. It didn't work. Okay, let's scroll. Boom, 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 boom. Donnie, what's up, Donnie? Rebecca, what's up with you? Vonnie Boo. Miss Star. All right, let's get back to it. I want to share this with y'all. We're gonna run my guy through. We're gonna run through my guy video real quick. Let's get it.
Program. Shout it, program. Facebook. Program. Twitter. Program. Instagram.
What's up, redneck woman? King JJ.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This your man, Chris Thorns, coming to you with another video. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching my content. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Well, man, this is a video that I actually totally forgot about this person, and I did a video of this person that involved a few more persons in this incident. Take a close look at that picture. Y'all know who that is? Or do y'all remember who that is? You don't remember who this is? Interesting.
I got you, Christina.
You ain't taking a closer look? Come on, take a closer look. Still don't know who it is? Ladies and gentlemen, this young lady's name is Brittany Covington. This name should ring a bell.
Sandra White.
It sure ring a bell to me. Now somebody posted this in my group, and I'm glad they did, because like I said, I totally forgot about this person and everything. So let me give you an up and up. I did a show, and I'm going to post this link for the people who didn't see it. I'm going to post a link of a show that I did about this person. Well, not a show, but an actual video. And the name of the video is called Black Lives Matter Promoting Violence, because for what they did, the article I read, it was saying that they was claiming to be Black Lives Matter, or whatever the case may be. But this young lady, along with another female, two dudes, had kidnapped a special needs teen and was torturing him and beating him, however you want to call it. They were doing some of everything to this young man. And if my calculation serves me right, don't quote me on this, I think they did that because he's supposedly been a Trump supporter, some shit like that. I don't know. This was around this time where everybody kept saying that folks, us black folks, was going around whooping other folks' ass because they were supporting Trump or whatnot. I remember that, all that shit, the craziest shit that I ever heard. Well, we finally got an update on this young lady. And you know what? Let me not say a word. Let me let y'all see for yourself.
And before I go any further, is anybody familiar with the story? Make sure, because I want to make sure y'all know this is the video that went viral with the 4 teens. They all weren't teens, but I know she's the youngest one. And they were in a room, and they had the white boy tied up and gagged and duct taped and everything. And they were beating him. They were, if I'm correct, I think they hit him with objects. They just had him it was just torturing him. And they did this on Facebook Live. And he's supposed to have a mental problem, which was even worse. But let's continue. Of course, this is in Chicago, as you can see, Cook County. What's up, Huggie Pacino? Risa, what's up?
Well, you saw that? This young lady would get no time for what she did, even though that she pleaded guilty. Now they're saying it's for a hate crime, but I guess that's for the same thing that I said that originally was, you know. And I want y'all to notice what it said in there, you know, for being a white boy. You see how they made that loud and clear by putting that in there for being a white boy.
Right.
Crazy. But, you know, at this point, I want to say it is what it is, but then again, you can't just really leave it like that. Because here's the thing that I'm tripping about. She gets no jail time, but it doesn't say anything about her other female friend. But let's just go on a limb and say that her other friend didn't get no jail time either. What happened to the guys that was involved? Did they get jail time? More likely they did. I'm gonna have to do a little more research since this is popping up. I'm pretty much sure it's an update on all this shit. And I want to see what happened to the guys. Because if the guys got locked up, then why this young lady is out and only doing community service? But then again, let's flip that card around. I guess she didn't physically do any of the actions that they did, and I guess I can understand that.
So been like,
but at the same time, though, she condoned it and she participated in it and streamed it on Facebook Live like an idiot.
Like you good, Rain?
Facebook did live.
Safety first. You know,
dudes on there was talking much shit, talking about anybody who got a problem with it, we gonna torture them too. We gonna tie them up and torture their ass too. You know, talking big shit, talking major big shit. And I remember one time in a video, this young lady said she had a job, she was gonna start the next day. And I said, dear, do you really think you'll have a job after this goes viral? I don't think so. Matter of fact, after this, you know, I won't be too surprised you don't get a job too quick. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised, not one bit. Now, the judge said that he feel like
Grand Rising, Tiny, how you doing?
Well, by that logic, then, why do you think jail time would benefit the guys? I mean, I'm like this, look, guilty by association, okay? It's just like me. If I'm taking a car full of hoodlums and thugs to go rob a bank, and I'm the one driving, and I'm the getaway driver, and once they rob the bank, I'm taking out with them because I'm getting a cut of the pie or whatever, won't they make me guilty as well? Because I knew what they was doing. I knew what they was going to do. I pretty much participated in it. So they would make me guilty as well. So why would you feel that jail time will benefit nobody, especially robbing a federal place like that, the bank? Oh, you motherfuckers come quick when it comes to the bank. Anybody rob a bank, the motherfuckers coming quick. Best believe that shit. And don't let it be a popular bank. Best believe that they coming quick when they hear the alarm off going on the bank. You know, this is crazy and this is kind of weird to me. I really don't know how to feel about it. You know, I kind of got mixed emotions about it. I mean, like I said, on one hand, I mean, you know, I guess you could say, well, she didn't actually do any physical harm to the guy, so I guess that's why he probably see it. But then at the same time, on the other hand, you know, she's just as guilty as anybody else who participated in this shit. So I feel like she just got a slap on the wrist and she getting a free pass, you know. So now I'm just gonna maybe go do some research and see what happened to the guys. Did they get time? Or did they get community service too as well? Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to post a link to the original video I did about this situation. When y'all see it, a lot of y'all probably going to remember this story. But I'm going to post a link to this in the description box. You're going to see the original video. And then you get your thoughts of, is it fair that she got off like this? Or should she have done some time? Because again, like I said, me, I got mixed emotions about the shit. You know, I think it's fucked up. The whole thing's fucked up, period. But this lady got off just doing community service, and the guys went to jail. But I think it's something wrong with this. It's something wrong with this, period. You understand? So, I don't know. Let me play it for y'all one more time. I'm gonna get on out of here.
Y'all see that? She gonna be back to smoking. You know what I'm saying? That's what she gonna be doing right there. She gonna be getting turned up. So she don't end up in the freezer, y'all. Y'all know how that shit go. You know how the hotels cracking cars and shit like that. You know, y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. What's up, Brandy? Keep in mind, I said, doesn't think jail will benefit her at all. Yep.
Interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, like I said, y'all share y'all thoughts, you know, how y'all feel about this. Again, look in the description box, and I'm gonna put the link to the original video that I did in the description box, so y'all can get up to date on where all this stemmed from or whatnot. Anyway, this your man Chris Thorns. Catch your next stream, catch your next video. Y'all take care of yourself and each other. Peace out.
Oh yeah, by the way, don't pay no attention to his hands. He's not a Mason, y'all. I know y'all like, oh my God, Huggie's friend's a Mason. See his hands? Okay, anyway. Y'all subscribe to my guy Chris Thorne show because I said so. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna hit the like button on that there. You know what I mean? Real cool, laid back, brother. He need the judge number. I'm pretty sure he do a lot of stupid shit. So first thing I want to talk about, anesthesia. All right. Now, I'm pretty sure all of us have been to the dentist at least one. Well, I can't say all of us. See, Tommy Sotomayor said he had never been to the dentist till he was damn near 30. Anytime, bro. Pop, pop. So my thing is what's up, Ray Harvey? My thing is let's go over the proper definition of what anesthesia is, okay? Anesthesia is a way to control pain during a surgery or procedure by using medicine called anesthesics. It can help control your breathing, blood pressure, blood flow, and heart rate and rhythm. I hate they did and heart rate and rhythm. Like, just say heart rate, dial. But I mean, but you know, this is WebMD. Like, y'all shouldn't be fucking up grammar like that. Anyway, I'm just fucking around. Anesthesia may be used to relax, block pain, make you sleepy or forgetful, make you unconscious for surgery. Other medicines may be used along with anesthesia, such as the ones to help you relax or to reverse the effects of anesthesias, okay? I will get into, you know, the types of, like, you got general, epidural, peripheral, regional, local, you know, certain stuff, you know, like this right now, it's a small part of the body, minor procedures. For example, you may get a shot of medicine directly into the surgical area to block the pain. I.e., if you're getting, like, let's just say like a hand, if you're getting like a bone in your hand or something, you know, maybe a nerve in the hand or the corner of the wrist or whatnot. You know, I'm not a doctor, so I might have fucked that up, but y'all got a good idea what I mean. So we're gonna leave it at that. In the meantime, in between time, Strong Every Day is in. I didn't see her. Where's she at? Is Strong Every Day in here? What's up on my brand TV? Is she in here? What's up, Max Payne? hippie chick. So let's get into these dinners, shall we? All right. Now, we're going to get into the idea of children who have died in the hands of dentists and dental offices. All right. Let's get right into it. Let's put this over here because I don't want to make the screen too big simply because I want to avoid copyright infringement. So let's go.
At 6 at Breaking ABC 15 exclusive. A family dumbfounded and searching for answers, telling us a 2-year-old Arizona boy died after going to the dentist.
How did this happen? ABC 15's Mike Pelton joins us now live at the newsroom. And Mike, the family has a lot of questions tonight.
Well, Stephanie, the funeral for 2-year-old Zion Gastelum held just last night. Now, I've been talking with family. They want to know how he died and just what happened when he went to a dental appointment in Yuma. A smiling 2-year-old child, Zion Gastelum's family shared these pictures of the young boy who died. The question now is how. Zion's uncle tells me on December 16th, the child's parents took him to this Cool Smiles in Yuma to get a crown and filling. What happened next remains unclear, but Zion's uncle says while at the office, it appears Zion stopped breathing. Zion's grandmother remembers such a bright light in such a small body.
Zion was a very happy, joyful, peaceful and humble little boy. He just was full of love.
We checked.
I want y'all to keep in mind, they said grandmother. I think it was, well, I was going to break it down. I don't remember exactly. I think it was a filling or something like that, but we'll get into that.
With both Yuma Fire and Yuma Police to get answers. They can only confirm they responded to a medical issue at Cool Smiles last month. Zion's family telling me he was taken from the dentist to Yuma Regional Medical Center and eventually flown to Maricopa County, where he died on December 20th. Officials tell me the cause and manner of death are pending, citing
pending. All right, make sure I don't use that word.
Of death are pending. Citing HIPAA and other privacy laws, a Cool Smile spokesperson wouldn't comment further, but emailed this statement, which reads, quote, The Cool
Smiles family expresses our sincere, heartfelt sympathy to the family of Zion Gastelum. Our hearts are breaking for the Zion's family at this very sad time. That's what they wrote.
Smiles family expresses our...
Exactly, Tiny, for a 4-year-old. Y'all shout out to Tiny because she sent this to me. But I actually found myself looking up more stuff that this is a common thing.
Sincere, heartfelt sympathy to the family of Zion Gastelum. Our hearts are breaking for Zion's family at this very sad time. Since Cool Smiles' founding nearly 20 years ago, we have safely and compassionately provided needed dental care through more than 19 million patient visits.
All right, y'all hear that? Now notice that they had to say, we have safely and compassionately provided needed dental care through more than 19 million patient visits. Why is that important? And you want to know something? I keep forgetting that switch. You know something? That this is not their first time. And they had the nerve to bring this up like, nigga, 1 out of 19 million? It's basically what they're saying. 1 out of 19 million, it ain't that bad. That's basically what they're saying.
Visits.
I see you, Margaret. I'm going to look one up. I got you.
Dedicated dentists, anesthesiologists, and the rest of our Cool Smiles family.
See, the problem is the anesthesiologists, because remember, in most cases, you're going to hear stories about that.
Join the community to mourn this tragic loss. Meanwhile, Zion's grandmother remembers her smiling grandson and offers this to other parents.
First of all, where's his mom and dad? First of all, boom. When we go further with that boom, let me tell you something. No mother, no father. I wonder is the mother involved with this child's organs being taken? I wonder is the grandmother just the only one involved and the mom and dad has nothing to do with the child? What is really going on here that the grandmother is the spokesperson for this damn child and he's only 2?
When they take their kids to doctors or dentists, that they need to be present at all times. Just love your kids with all your heart, because you never know what's going to happen.
Now tonight, lots.
And she didn't seem like she was just too bothered.
Wait, so she got the child off of the
Yeah, they always do that. I remember I used to wear braces. I had a whole lot of shit done in my mouth, and mom used to just drop me off and come back and pick me up. I remember shit like that. Now, I wasn't a 2 or 4 year old. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a baby. You know what I'm saying? I was like 11 or 12. That's a little bit older. You know what I mean?
Lots of questions remain. One of the biggest is how the toddler died and what happened inside Cool Smiles. The family has
Thank you, me, Angel. That's the most important part of the procedure. Yes.
the same questions and is talking with an attorney. In the meantime, they set up a GoFundMe page to help cover funeral.
Boom. GoFundMe.
A woman's best friend.
Expenses. We're live in the newsroom tonight. Mike Pelton, ABC 15, Arizona.
Yeah, just so seemingly tragic and not understandable how this could happen. Mike, I know you'll stay on.
Where that GoFundMe at? What was his name again? Zion what? The fuck is that boy's name, man? I can't even remember that.
So did she have any life insurance?
She should have. Spelling his name all wrong. I hope it corrects itself. Yes, correct itself. Bam. Bam.
Interesting.
Well, they did an honest amount because they really wanted to bury the child. They got 45 on it.
Almost at the goal too.
Yeah, that's a responsible amount. I can't even front on that. You know what I mean? I can't even be mad at that. Now, if they was on some ridiculous shit like 30,000, 20,000, some shit like that, I would be worried. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? You know what I mean? So I can't be mad at that one. So I think they honestly just had an issue, but I'm still not gonna let them off the hook that they probably had something to do with this boy's organs being taken, because we're gonna get into another story. All right,
that's good story.
Another story.
That's a good story.
On at 6, a breaking ABC 15 exclusive. A second family devastated and searching for answers.
Hold on, because I gotta make sure the screen is over here. You know what I mean? Copyright infringement. I can't let them get it.
You know they have to.
Oh yeah. They were like, get this nigga any. All right, so. Y'all know the same place had the same shit happen to a 4-year-old? Let's go.
On at 6, a breaking ABC 15 exclusive. A second family devastated and searching for answers.
Telling us a 4-year-old Arizona girl, Lizeth Lares, died after going to a dentist for a tooth extraction. Lizeth was treated at Cool Smiles, the same Yuma dental office Zion Gastelum went to see before he died just 4 days later.
ABC.
All right. You see that? Same dentist, same dental office. Cool Smiles, the one that's got 19 million satisfied people. What's up with their reputation now? All right, then.
15 said who also digging deeper into this tragic story tonight, and it's all new at 6 o'clock.
Half of my heart. To something for me to never come back.
A family grief-stricken, baffled as to how their bright little girl, so full of life, ended up dead after a routine trip to the dentist.
She had cavities and she had a dental abscess.
In January of 2016, Francisca Lares took her 4-year-old daughter Lizeth to Cool Smiles on West 24th Street in Yuma. 1 day later, they were back in the office.
The mom called back, reporting signs of fever from her daughter. Dentist looked at the child, did, in our view, a relatively cursory exam, sent her home, told mom, essentially, there's nothing to worry about, you'll be fine. Unfortunately, the infection spread, and she died of infection.
Attorneys preparing their case against Cool.
So she had an infection. They sent her home. The infection spread, and she died. Y'all believe that? Let's go.
Cool Smiles say Lizeth could have survived the infection had Cool Smiles given her the proper treatment.
Boom. if the 19 million satisfied patients said they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball. Remember, the first time this happened, what's up, folks? The first time this happened, what's up, Brandon? I didn't see you, I'm sorry. First time this happened, Valerie, what's up? First time this happened, they talked about the 19 million people. I thought that was so unnecessary to bring up. Don't bring up your reputation when there's a death involved. You know, like if I got married, oh, well, I dated and fell in love with 45 women and I fell in love with 46. Because 45 people, either I did them wrong or they did me wrong or we just didn't work out. Even if I did all 45 right, that's not a good thing to say. Because my reputation means nothing. It's all about what I'm doing wrong. If I did something wrong, somebody did something wrong. But in this situation, they use their reputation as I guess, a footstool. Right, Donnie?
The allegation in our case is that the dentist at Cool Smile didn't comply with the standard of care.
This week, 2-year-old Zion Gastelum was laid to rest after a visit to the same dentist, Cool Smiles, on West 24th Street in Yuma. Zion's family telling ABC 15 exclusively the toddler rented for a crown and filling 3 weeks ago. And a
crown and a filling. Oh, yo. Is it really that necessary? What's up, Marquita? 83. Is it really that serious? Really?
Zion stopped breathing, passing away 4 days later.
Zion was a very happy, joyful, peaceful, and humble little boy.
Officials tell me that...
You say your email. Okay, I got the emails, and I actually didn't want to play them from the news site because I couldn't, break them down the way I wanted to do them. So I screen recorded one, and I went to YouTube and downloaded. I know it was an article. Does the article break down more? Because I didn't want to really read the article if it wasn't that necessary. Let me know, Tiny.
Manner and cause of Zion's death are pending, as Lizette Laris's family...
Once again, the cause of death is pending, as usual.
Prepares for legal battle against Cool Smiles.
Now she prepares for legal battle.
Her mom tells us the real reason she's going to court is to get action against the dentist to save other kids. She doesn't want a dime.
I'm not even for the money. I mean, because I want them to pay attention to what they're doing.
And that's easy to say that, but we don't, man, you can't trust human beings today. You can't trust parents. You just sound convincing. Maybe they just told you, hey, we had this done before. We don't want you seeming like, making it seem like you're like the other woman. One thing for sure, we want to make sure this time that you say you're not going after the money, because you're not supposed to go after the money if you're already giving up your child's organs anyway. Now, this is just all speculation, so don't quote me on that and make it seem like that's what I really believe it's for. All I know is that, yeah, I mean, it's not necessary, procedures to be doing to a 4-year-old. It's too young. It's not necessary. It's not something you have to do. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I was supposed to have surgery where they removed the tissue in the corner of my cheek to place my bottom chin back in its proper place because I have an underbite. I have a slight underbite. My mom said that the risk it took to do it, she didn't want that done. She didn't want that done. She said, if you want to do it when you get older, but I don't want you to. But she said, as long as you're in my house, as long as you're in my house and you're under my care, I'm not doing that. That's what she told me.
Cool Smiles is responding tonight, calling this death tragic, expressing sympathy to the Laris family, and also strongly denying any allegations of dental malpractice and negligence. The day after the routine tooth extraction on Lizette, Cool Smiles say they examined that site, which they say was normal, and their statement goes on to say that during that same checkup, Lizette was seen coughing and presenting cold-like symptoms, so they advised her mother to take her to a doctor to be looked at. Cool Smiles claims that the mother took the daughter to a doctor in Mexico 2 days later, and Lizette subsequently died. Cool Smiles also writes that Lizette's death is unrelated to this treatment provided by Cool
What's up, Simply Made?
Smiles.
What's up, Kiara? I don't know if I spoke to you. Good morning.
Otherwise is false. So a lot of tough questions here tonight regarding the death of two little children, Zion and Lizette. A lawsuit pending in this case. Both kids dead after being visit to the same dental office in Arizona. Reporting live in the newsroom, Soli Wasu, ABC 15, Arizona.
Incredibly sad, and so do we know you will continue following this for us. Thank you.
All right. Give me a second because I want to go get that article. And I have that article. Good looking out, Tiny. All right, here we go. All right, and 9 questions to ask your dentist before your kids go under sedation. Araceli Avila never dreamed that her daughter's life might be a risk during a visit to the dentist, but on June 12th, Delazia Hernandez. What is with these? What is with these Spanish names too? Is that in Arizona? Let me see. Where is this at? Okay, let's continue. Delazia Hernandez Avila, 3, died during a dental procedure. The dentist sedated Delazia to keep the toddler from wriggling while she was getting crowns and having a tooth pulled. 3 years, oh goodness. The little girl never woke up. I think I got one of these stories that I actually was going to do. I think I do. Now Araceli wants to warn parents about the dangers that she wasn't aware of. I'm looking for justice, so what happened doesn't happen to other mothers, she told Sacramento, California. NBA affiliate KCRA. So they don't have to feel the same pain I feel after losing my daughter. After several recent tragedy cases, there are demands for different practices for the influential American Academy of Pediatrics. According to a report by NBC News national correspondent Kate Snow, which first aired on Sunday night with Megyn Kelly. All right. Dr. Wendy Sue Swanson of Seattle Children's Hospital and the spokesperson for the influential pediatrics group is sounding the alarm after sedating children for oral surgery. If we could prevent one more child from an adverse event or a death, we got to try, Swanson told NBC News. It's unclear how many children or adults in general have died in the U.S. during dental procedures. The state boards that oversees dental practices in America usually don't make that kind of information public. But early this month, a Texas high school student died about a week after undergoing anesthesia to have his wisdom teeth removed. By the way, I have all 4 of my wisdom teeth snatched out around the time I had like most of my teeth straight, because they was getting me ready for the procedure to have my tissue removed and push my bottom jaw back. They got it out the way. And now they said that removing my wisdom teeth didn't cause the risk. Removing the tissue could cause the risk. So they had my wisdom teeth removed. I got both sides removed. All right. According to a Dallas Morning News investigation in 2015, a dental patient dies nearly every other day in the U.S. That's more than 1,000 people over the course of 5.5 years. Wow. You have okay. The number of deaths are only estimates, and with millions of dental procedures performed each year on children aged 2 to 17, such tragedies are very rare. But one thing's for certain, there are too many of them. And said Dr. Michael Mashney, all these weird ass names, a dentist with anesthesia training who practices in California. Without data on the deaths from all state boards, it's impossible to determine where the problem are or how to fix the problem. There are really no legitimate oversight. There's really no legitimate oversight, said Dr. J. Freeman. Damn, that Freeman name, a California-based dental consultant and author. And there are very few sanctions. You have to do something really bad before it gets done about it. In Freeman's experience, many young children are being overtreated by their dentists, and children are more likely to be overtreated if they're under full sedation, he said. Children can choke easily. The dangers isn't from local anesthesias, such as Novocaine and numbing gels. General anesthesias is when the patient is unconscious, can be risky in children, and some dentists may not recognize the dangers quickly, said Dr. Karen Siebert, an associate clinical professor of anesthesiology at the University of California, Los Angeles. Children have small airways. Oh, okay, I see what they're saying. Children can have small airways and they can choke easily, he said. It doesn't take much to obstruct a small child's airway. Their vocal cords can close and they can choke on a little bit of blood. Yeah, that you do got a point. And I got that video too about the 4-year-old boy. Yeah, I took that video too. Wow. So in a hospital or an ambulatory surgical center, there are medical support systems to help the child in distress. In the office setting, by the time anyone gets there, the child is in such deep trouble, it's too late. Parents who sedated their children died during dental procedures often say that they were unaware that the death was a possibility. Wow. Oh. So they were supposed to inform them about certain things such as their vocal cords, the blood and everything, and how small damn, that's cold. That's cold-blooded. And while there may have been a consent form, and another thing about these consent forms, you sign these consent forms and you don't read. Because I've ran into that problem with jobs. Like they just say, just sign here, you don't read anything. You know, never sign your name on anything. I don't care if it's something minor. Never sign something you don't know what you're signing. Because they'll just say, look here, just sign right here. And they just want to get your signature and get you up out the way. What's up, Scott? What's up, Controller? Shoe Girl and all y'all. All right. So, whatever I felt. Given the risks associated, and then while there may be given a consent form, including that the danger many don't absorb the information in dental offices. Given the risks associated with sedation, the dentist should have a frank discussion with the parents on the risks and benefits of anesthesia for treating the underlying disease, said Jim Nickman, president of American Academy Pediatric. Good, y'all got to forgive me. It's early in the morning. I'm tired, but I'm doing it anyway. Of dentistry. We advise members to use extreme caution when they're looking at sedated children less than 3. For those of the age under the age of 2, I would recommend anesthesia be done in a hospital setting. What do you mean by a hospital setting? That's weird. Before a child undergoes any serious digital, what do they mean by Tiny? What do they mean by hospital setting? So they're saying it shouldn't be done in dental offices? Is that what they're saying? Because a dental office is not a hospital setting whatsoever. If they're under the age of 2, so they're saying under 2 they shouldn't be on anesthesia at all. Oh, Tiny ain't busy. Tiny, can you give me your thoughts on that? Because they're basically saying in a hospital setting, it said that they mean anesthesia shouldn't be done in offices. It's only yeah, exactly. That's what I thought they said. So basically, we have one story of a 2-year-old that was placed under it, but they had I think the 2-year-old had an infection, correct? No, the 4-year-old had an infection. The 2-year-old had the 2-year-old had an infection, and then she died 4 days later, right? The 4-year-old, if I can remember, the 4-year-old, which one had the infection, the 2 or the 4-year-old? Well, kids under 2 in the hospital setting, emergency life saving equipment. Exactly. They do it for wisdom teeth. Yeah, because I know I was dead to the world. And they were like, count to 10. I was out. And I woke up and like, are y'all done? Yeah, 2. Okay. Yeah, a lot of questions. Second opinion, considering settings. I don't want to waste too much time reading it, but we'll get through just the little bits and pieces right here. A lot of questions. What procedure are you going to do? And do you have to do it? How much training do you have to have? Are you going to sedate my child? And if so, what medicines are you going to use? Well, nobody's really asking these questions, but they should. So I understand where they're coming from now. How much experience does this person have caring for my child my age? How will my child be monitored during the procedure? I know about the EKG, blood pressure, pulse. I know all that. Who is going to be in the room if something goes wrong? There's a couple of these stores where they said they didn't allow a parent. One of these stores, they didn't allow a parent in the room because of the steriling situation. So they didn't even allow the parents to be in the room in one of these stories. The 4-year-old died of infection. Okay, I thought I had that right. Are you going to use the papoose board? And what kind of recovery setup do you have? Second opinion, instincts matter. And so if you feel unsettled, consult another doctor. Get a second opinion if it's not a crisis, and very little dental work is a crisis. Parents can also simply ask, can this wait a year or 2? Exactly. I think, because, I didn't do none of that stuff to my son. Like, my son, like 12 now, he goes and see the dentist and, I wouldn't do that at 2 or 3 or 4. It's not that serious. After the procedure, kids can come out today a little slower than adults and need prolonged observation. Before you go home, make sure your child is no longer sedated. He's not falling asleep and not slowing in his breathing. If your child is in the back seat of the car ride home, make sure there's someone who can be there. And I remember I used to be in the back seat and somebody had to be there with me because my mom didn't go alone. She might have left me there, but she always had to make sure somebody was in the back seat. I remember that because you had to make sure that I actually was like alert because they would do that to me too. So I remember that. Make sure somebody's beside him to watch him and make sure his airways doesn't get closed off and he doesn't slow breathing while you're driving home. There are events where children have had sedation, get in the car seat, and their respiratory rate goes down and they're just quiet and somehow may not know. 2 adults accompany the child or deal in this situation. Bottom line, for those uncomfortable with the idea of general anesthesia, there are other options that can work. For example, having the parents hold the child in a blanket to keep him still, like you do in an emergency room if the child requires stitches, Nickman said. Ultimately, Freeman isn't convinced that the benefits of sedation outweighs the risk. In my opinion, there's no excuse to give these kids general anesthesias, he said. National News, NBC News national correspondent Case Snow contributed to this report. That is a wonderful breakdown. Now, that's deep. Now, that's a real understanding of that. Over here, are your kids dying at the dentist? Let's put this back up over here. Over here in the cut. All right. What's the name? I don't want the people confused. Okay, here we go. Let's read right here. Safety and standards. I don't want to go to all this. I'm gonna put both of these articles if you are interested in this, because I know a lot of us got children. A lot of us probably just had newborns. You might want to deal with these things, and I'm gonna put both of the articles in the description box so they can be read, and that way you can go through them in full. I don't want to waste too much time because I do have 6 more videos to show you, and we're gonna get into that that other child that died, the black boy. So let's get back to that, and I'm gonna bookmark these. So yeah, let's bookmark these so I know that way I don't have to go back in my email here. All right. Let's go back over here. Put my chat back up. All right. The next story.
Why is this woman attacking the elderly gentleman? He's her daughter's dentist, and she's in a rage. But why? And why are these parents so upset that they're actually picketing his office? All their kids were patients of the same dentist, Dr. Schneider, and they're also furious. Look how many showed up for our interview. And one by one, they told similar horror stories about what the dentist allegedly did to their kids.
My son started crying, saying, "Daddy, can you get this man off of me? He's choking me."
Then there's little 6-year-old Brielle Motley. Just look at that beautiful smile. But that's before visiting Dr. Schneider in Jacksonville, Florida. Her mom says she brought Brielle in to have one tooth extracted. Look what happened.
When I got her to the car, she took her gauze out, and that's when I noticed all of her teeth on the top and the bottom were removed.
How many?
Wow. God damn. Look at that picture, yo. Look at that.
The bottom were removed.
How many teeth were removed?
It was 8 altogether.
8 teeth. 8.
This story gets worse. If this is painful to watch, imagine the horror that 3-year-old boy experienced. His mother says she secretly shot this cell phone video as her 3-year-old son, Zion Christopher, underwent an agonizing dental procedure by Dr.
What is it called when people enjoy giving pain to somebody? Is that some type of I don't want to say fetish. What is it called? I think a lot of people enjoy doing shit like that because I don't see the joy in knowing that you're actually giving this 3-year-old pain like that. Sadistic, is that what it's called? Goodness.
Schneider, incredibly, she says, without anesthesia. The 78-year-old dentist has the youngster strapped
78 years old.
Down from his head to his ankles with a device known as a papoose board. Parents say this is nothing but torture.
Wow.
Disturbing as that video is, it may just be the tip of the iceberg. Now more than 50 families claim that Dr. Schneider abused their kids, and many of them would like to see the dentist behind bars. Parents claim Schneider improperly used the papoose board instead of Novocaine. New Mexico dentist Dr. Michael Davis showed us one.
They are put in basically baby strips.
I mean, that's the thing that you use when you have an actual like fracture, like on a football field or basketball court. And you know, you use this in an office, but do you have to do? Man, goodness.
Great jackets. It is just unconscionable.
Sound incredible? It's the same story with other children.
We could hear him screaming from the waiting room when they finally called me back. He was strapped on the papoose board all alone. There was no one in the room with him.
What did Dr. Schneider say to you, Dominic?
Don't tell my mom.
But you did tell your mother, didn't you?
Yes.
What did you tell your mom happened?
What's up, World News 2? I see you got this second channel. Subscribe to World News 2 because you got a strike on the first one, so you got to be able to go live on the second one. Hit my guy up right there, World News 2. That's WURLD. And bro, let me tell you something, bro. When you look if you look your name up in YouTube, you know I'm gonna show you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you, but I can tell you. Watch this real quick. I don't mean to sidetrack, but I want to show you something. For example, let's just say I want to look up world news, right? I'm gonna type it in. You see it? And as you notice, I always look you up like that, right? So let's just say when I click that, you notice it don't come up. You see this? It don't even show up. You see that? And it's spelled correctly, right? You see it? It don't even show up, bro. But watch what I have to do to make you appear. I have to hit search instead, and it's correctly spelled the same way, right? When I hit that, bam. Cold-blooded, ain't it? You see that? Why I gotta click that just to get this dude to pop up, and it's the same spelling. You see that? Yeah, you have to click. You have to click the whatchamacallit twice just to make him appear at the top. He don't even show up on the search menu at all. And I thought that was weird because I noticed it yesterday, but I forgot to mention it to him. Like when you do it, like right here, it says search instead, right? But it's already up here spelled correctly. So when I do that, I shouldn't have to do this. You see what I'm saying? Just to get to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like the channel is filtered out. Like it's hard to search it, but it's there, but you can't find it, and you have to force it to be found. Find it reckless? Yeah, because you're spelling it wrong. It's RECKLEED. I find his all the time. But anyway, let's go.
He choked me.
We tried to interview Dr. Schneider. Did you abuse the children in your practice, sir?
Get out of here.
Did you talk?
He's an asshole, too. You see that? Those are the grumpy old men that you know have been using the word nigga for like multiple decades. He probably beat his wife and probably fuck kids and shit. You know, ain't no telling what the fuck that dude be doing. If you got that kind of a cohort that you can't just calmly answer simple questions. What's up, Maya? What's up, Yolanda? What's up, Young Jay? What's happening, bro?
My children down in your practice and abuse them? For now, all these kids are having to live without their teeth. Their beautiful smiles are only a memory now. No wonder these parents are fighting mad.
And he's trying to fight the lady back. Like, I'm not gonna blame him, but goddamn, bro, you fucking up these children's. You fucking up their mouths. You fucking up their teeth. You know, like, and they got every right to fuck you up. You know what I mean?
Last week, Dr. Schneider turned in his license to practice dentistry and shut down his office. He is now being investigated by the Jacksonville sheriff for child abuse.
Remember what I said? He didn't turn this shit in. He turned this shit in because he's under investigation, and he know most likely my license is gone anyway. Just like I said, most guys or most people do not apologize because of what they do. They apologize because they got caught.
Schneider denies any wrongdoing.
Yeah, I know he does. I would too. The smartest thing to do, like, nigga, what else you gonna do? Anyway.
Let's stop.
Hold on, y'all. Go another one. We got more.
Toddler dies during a dental procedure, and tonight her emotional mother speaks out about the moments she learned her daughter had passed away.
This happened Monday at Children's Dental Surgery in Stockton. CBS 13's Angela Greenwood joins us now. She has more tonight from that grieving mother who still has a whole lot of questions. I can just imagine.
Yeah, and Tam and Adrian, unfortunately, there aren't many answers tonight. The mother says her 3-year-old daughter was healthy, a normal little girl, and she never thought for a second she'd be in danger at a dental center. But then she saw that ambulance pull up.
These photos show 3-year-old Delisa Avila Hernandez playing in the waiting room.
And that's the one we read about in the article, y'all.
Her siblings at Stockton's Children's Dental Surgery Center Monday morning. Moments later, the little girl went in for a dental procedure, but never came out. The last moments, Araceli Avila would see her daughter again.
When I was in the waiting room, I saw the ambulance. I stood up to see, and I thought to myself, they are here for a child, but never thought it was my child.
Avila says her daughter was there to get her teeth fixed, but 30 minutes later, she was rushed to the hospital where she later died.
The nurse said my daughter's heart stopped, but she was stable and not to worry, and told me my daughter has heart problems that maybe I didn't know of, but that's not true. My daughter was very healthy.
The dental center specializes in treatments under general anesthesia. Administrators couldn't confirm if that was part of the little girl's procedure, but did tell us both a dentist and anesthesiologist, along with a nurse and 2 assistants, are present in the rooms during the procedure.
The risks are different. The process is different. Our emergency response is different. And, you know, we have drills that to handle certain types of emergency.
Avila says she was required to read a long form and says it was in Spanish. The nurse who helped her also spoke Spanish. And as the Stockton Police Department and the California Dental Board now investigate Delisa's death, her mother just can't understand how a trip to a dental center could take her daughter's life.
I hope what has happened to me doesn't happen to another mother.
So sad. The little girl, we are told, will be laid to rest next week. In the meantime, tomorrow, her friends and family plan to protest outside that dental surgery center at 9 a.m. asking for justice.
Well, you're right. As you just stated off the top here, there are a lot of questions about what happened in that place.
Oh, yeah.
My
Something
goodness.
doesn't add up.
No.
It's sad and it makes you angry, too. We'll likely be hearing a lot more about this, I'm sure.
Angela,
thanks.
So what happened in Stockton is something that we actually have seen before. Caleb Sears of the Bay Area stopped breathing at the oral surgeon 2 years ago and died. And 4-year-old Navia Hall of Texas suffered brain damage under anesthesia while getting her teeth capped. Now, some dental professionals say that sedating kids in the dentist office is too dangerous.
In fact, after these deaths and other reports of injuries, a bill at the state capitol forces a second qualified person to be inside the room handling the anesthesia. But the big debate is who is a qualified second person and how much experience should they really have? This bill passed out of the committee, by the way, today. And to learn more about the bill moving through the legislature or some of the other tools dentists use instead of anesthesia, you can head to our website, cbs13.com.
That's crazy. We got more.
A story of Vancouver mother never thought.
Let's say, let's put this over here. Okay, no copyright infringements. Make this a little bit smaller. All right there.
What would happen? Her preschooler goes to the dentist and then dies following surgery.
Yeah, the 4-year-old never woke up after being given anesthesia at the Must Love Kids Dentistry in Vancouver. The mother was there when her child died, but she spoke with our Lisa Balick today. Lisa joined us from the newsroom. I can't imagine as a parent, Lisa.
It is unfathomable. Now, the state of Washington is investigating this death at the pediatric dental office. Michael's mother can't believe her son, though, is suddenly gone.
I've never heard of a 4-year-old child going to a dentist and dying.
Tamika Curry is at a loss for answers as to why her son, 4-year-old Mikel Peterson, is dead.
My son always had a smile on his face, regardless of what was going on, around him. He was always smiling, and that's what I'm going to miss about him the most.
She took her preschooler to the Must Love Kids dental practice on Friday for planned tooth surgery. They'd been there before. Instead of giving him gas to go to sleep, she says an anesthesiologist gave him a shot. Then she rocked him until he fell asleep.
Carried him into the room, and I laid him on the bed, and I was asked to wait in the lobby.
After surgery, she was told to come back in and wait for him to wake up. That never happened.
The anesthesiologist started to check his pulse, and he was shaking him. And at this point, I still am not aware anything is wrong with my son. And then he puts a mask on his face and he's pumping air through his body. And then he starts giving chest compressions. And
did anyone call 911? Did an ambulance come?
At some point they did while I was in the lobby.
Meanwhile, police, fire, and an ambulance arrived. Mikel rushed to the hospital. I went to the Must Love Kids office today and found it dark, a close sign on the door. The office just released a statement saying, quote, "All of us are heartbroken and devastated by this event. As to the specifics, outside medical experts will review what happened, so it would be premature to comment. We have performed dentistry for pediatric patients under deep sedation and general anesthesia more than 1,900 times."
You see that? I got to be specific about what they've done and without an incident. You see that? They're braggadocious. You see that? You see it? You don't peep it? Why does that have to be in your damn statement? Like, why does that have to be a fucking part of your statement? Why?
Without incident in the last 3.5 years in Vancouver.
Like, I'm still bothered by that you will bring that up. That's like what?
A contract with an independent, highly qualified, and experienced board-certified anesthesiologist. The Washington State Health Department confirms it has received information about Mikkel's death, and they are reviewing the case. Now, I asked the Vancouver Police Department whether if it's investigating. They told me no, they have no information there was anything criminal at this stage. Now, drug test results will take several weeks. That's why the cause and manner of Mikkel's death remains undetermined. There is a GoFundMe account, though, in Mikkel Peterson's name. We have a link at coin.com.
Baby girl dies after dental procedure in Texas. A mother is mourning the death of her daughter, who died for as yet unknown reasons after a visit to a dentist in Northwest Austin. On Tuesday morning, Betty Squire brought daughter Daisy Lynn Torres to Austin Children's Dentistry for a routine cavity filling. Daisy was put under anesthesia for the procedure.
Routine. Anesthesia. We just read about any child under 2. Any child under 2 shouldn't be doing this at all. And now that I've educated myself on that, I don't even know why they even allow it. Like, it should be banned.
But stopped breathing moments later. She was taken by ambulance to a local hospital and was later pronounced dead. The Texas State Board of Dental Examiners will launch an investigation into the incident to determine whether anyone was at fault.
Determine if anyone is at fault. Determine. A toddler.
An ABC News investigation, a hidden danger in the dentist office. We have learned about children, some of them as young as 18 months old, given dangerous doses of anesthesia, sedatives, for routine procedures. This story, by the way, came from one of you, a grandmother who wrote ABC's chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross, and he decided to investigate.
For 8-year-old Raven Blanco, it was a routine trip to the dentist for a cavity in a cleaning.
She wanted to have pretty teeth.
5-year-old Diamond Brownridge needed some cavities filled and teeth capped.
Later that day, she was going to attend a princess party.
But like more than a dozen other children across the country, the trip to the dentist would lead to death.
Who thinks that they're going to take their daughter to the dentist and never bring her home?
Again and again, according to a foundation set up in the name of Raven Blanco, children have died after their dentist administered sedatives or anesthesia, often in dangerous doses.
I got an 11-minute video after this, and this is about another 2 minutes. Now, how possible are we thinking that organ trafficking, how possible is it that organ trafficking plays up somewhat of a part in any of these stories? Somewhat. If it ain't the parents, just the center, the offices, just, what do y'all think? Yeah, Felicity. Yeah. I mean, because it's being done and it shouldn't be done. And so I just read, when you read that under 2, they shouldn't be, and the guy had said he wouldn't recommend it. Man,
Raven got 3 times what was considered normal for a child her age.
3 times. You basically overdosed a child. Oh no, Jazzy. Don't children have cancer? Don't children need organs? Yes. I mean, yeah. I mean, of course, it's, children. There's a 3-year-old that needs a lung, a kidney, hey. The world is a big place. Billions of people. A lot of them are children, Yeah, they might not know, but I'm pretty sure they probably do. But if you just gave this girl 3 times, that's crazy. Like I don't even know, man.
A growing number of dentists now routinely sedate children as young as 18 months old for routine cleaning and cavity treatment, saying it makes it easier to treat children who don't fidget in the chair. But experts say there is nothing routine about the handling of the emergencies that can arise.
45 to 60 seconds may be all the time that they have to save that child's life.
And an ABC News investigation has found that first...
Run that back. Listen to the certain time you get.
60 seconds may be all the time that they have to save that child's life.
60 seconds.
And an ABC News investigation has found that for some dentists, the lure is greed. There are weekend-long courses in oral sedation at local hotels, whose operators say safety is always the top concern and emphasis. But the people who run them also talk of the tens of thousands of dollars of extra income in your pocket annually by doing oral sedation. The American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry says such 3-day sessions are not adequate.
If this is all you've got, you've never been trained in sedation.
Oh, it's always it's always one of them, Like we've seen this guy, we've seen this face, we've seen that name. Maybe not that same spelling, but it's always that speech pattern that isn't English, broken English, broken face, weird spelling. Like I wouldn't be able. Andrew Panwani, is that how you say his name? Nah. Don't y'all think that's weird? My doctor, when I was in ICU, I woke up, my doctor name was Swoonie or some shit like that. Like I didn't know what the fuck his name was. I remember just calling him Sue Woo. I just call him Sue Woo. What's up, Sue Woo? Dr. Sue Woo. I didn't know how to say his name. I know it was a long fucking S. Started with the letter S. It was weird. I just called him Sue Woo. He used to laugh. Panwani.
Then I would consider it inadequate.
Even dentists with extensive training have made fatal errors. The Illinois Medical Board found the dentist who gave Diamond Brownridge excessive doses of sedatives showed a complete lack of understanding of conscious sedation.
At that point, you damn near trying to brain. Oh my goodness, yo.
Yet, Dr. Haikam Reba is back at work in Chicago after he went through retraining and his suspended license was restored.
The department.
Y'all hear that? Restored license. You got people around here that's got suspended driver's license. And people like this could still practice after they fuck up.
Asked me to do certain things, and I would.
There they go. That broken English again. This foreign ass dude.
Was able to do it.
But how is it you're still working as a dentist?
Thank you very much.
That dentist told us
he walked out. I'd have snatched him by his shirt. Say, bro, I'm talking to you, bro. Nah, I'm joking. That is assault. But anyway.
He no longer takes children as patients, but his website says otherwise. And today he is still a member in good standing of the American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry, Diane.
And the grandmother who wrote us lost her granddaughter.
She lost her granddaughter, and she is so thrilled tonight that you've put this on your program so all Americans can know about the potential dangers.
We thank her for writing, and thank you.
Yeah. That's real. At least get the people informed. We're gonna do this 11-minute video, and we're gonna roll out after my little thoughts here. Y'all gotta forgive me. Hold on. Y'all gotta forgive me. This is the first time I've watched these videos. I watched the first two because Tiny sent me those via email, but I'm watching these. I'm watching these videos for the first time. So, goodness, let's go. Here we go.
Are you putting dentists, the dental community, on notice?
I'd say we're kind of knocking on the door. If we can prevent one more child from an adverse event or a death, we've got to try.
Dr. Wendy Sue Swanson is talking about the way dentists sedate kids. She's sounding the alarm, not just as a mom and a pediatrician, but on behalf of the influential American Academy of Pediatrics. What is at stake here?
Children's safety and children's lives.
Beyond local anesthetics like Novocaine, it's become increasingly common for dentists to give kids drugs to help them relax during dental work, even knock them out completely. There are no national statistics on how often things go wrong, but a string of recent deaths
Last year, tragedy struck in my district.
has lawmakers in California and Texas sounding the alarm too.
No child should die in a dentist chair.
In 2015, Nevaeh Hall was a chatty toddler who loved dancing and going to church with her family.
This must be Nevaeh.
When we met her recently in Houston,
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
Nevaeh could no longer walk or talk and needed round-the-clock care.
How many different medications every day? It's about 14 different medicines.
Nevaeh's dentist told her mom, Carissa, the 4-year-old needed work on her baby teeth. On top of laughing gas and Novocaine, the dentist sedated Nevaeh with an anti-anxiety drug and the narcotic Demerol.
You go back to the room. What do you see? Nevaeh was having a seizure. You must have been scared. I can't describe the feeling that I had that day.
The dentist, Dr. Bethaniel Jefferson, waited more than 4 hours to call 911, instead calling a pharmacist for advice and calling her pastor to ask him to pray.
It's a long time to watch a child kill their brain.
Dr. Roger Byrne has more than 40 years of experience as an oral surgeon and wrote the rules in Texas for office-based dental sedation. This is the chart.
Right.
Nevaeh's family hired Dr. Byrne to look at her medical records. He says they show that for hours her brain was deprived of oxygen. Was
Hours. Look at this chart, man. Above this line is, wow.
her brain was deprived of oxygen. Was anyone monitoring the amount of oxygen in her blood, do you think?
The machine was. No one knew what they were looking at, or they weren't paying attention to what they saw.
Not paying attention.
Is Nevaeh's case just...
You said it's legal, it's legal over there? It's illegal in Germany? I can believe that.
an isolated outlier, terribly unfortunate, or is it representative of something?
I would love to say it's an isolated problem, but in my opinion, it's not.
Children are much more vulnerable to the effects
What's up, Bridget?
of sedation and
What's up, Round
anesthesia
Rep
than
Radio?
grown-ups are.
Jazzy? What's up
Dr.
with y'all?
Karen Seibert
Princess
is
T,
an
what's up?
anesthesiology professor and
Dang T,
president
what's
of the
happening?
California Society of Anesthesiologists.
Part of the problem, in a very common sense way, is that their lungs are smaller. So if they stop breathing, their lungs run out of oxygen a lot more quickly
Yeah, we read that in the article.
than an adult's lungs that are 3 times the size.
As vulnerable as kids are, we discovered most states allow any dentist to sedate kids with the kind of drugs Nevaeh.
Right, Ryan. And you know something, I get to reading and learn a lot of stuff about this, is that it's pretty much just done. It looks like it's done on purpose. A lot of this stuff is just, it's beyond an accident. A lot of this stuff can be accidental.
got after just a
And
few.
I think, you know, you look at, like, we got like 2 different kids that we seen who actually got permanent brain damage. to the point where their goal was to kill them. You know what I mean? Their goal was to take their life. So now they have to live with being a vegetable, taking medication. This shit is sad, man. It really is.
2 days of training. What's more, most states don't require that training to be specific to kids. Dr. Seibert says training might not help in a crisis anyway.
In real life, especially when a child is at stake, I think people panic and they freeze and they don't know what to do.
In California, Eliza Sears says her son was the victim of a botched rescue in the dentist chair. 6-year-old Caleb needed a tooth pulled so his grown-up teeth would come in straight.
That tooth was still in his palate.
Up in the gum, basically.
Up in the gum. They would have to drill actually into that and cut it open and extract this tooth. Ouch.
Eliza took Caleb to an oral surgeon. An oral surgeon is a dentist with years of extra medical training, including anesthesia. But that didn't stop things from going wrong. Dr. Michael Doucette was in charge of administering Caleb's general anesthesia and doing the dental work.
You look, you know, it's sometimes like if you look, you know, they say like, let's blow this up. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, right? And this ain't because he's white. I know what I'm seeing. I see it. You know what I'm saying? I see it, bro. I see it, my dog. I really do. I don't know if y'all see it, but I see it.
That's normal practice in dentistry. But just minutes after Caleb was knocked out, he stopped breathing.
So there was a delay in calling the paramedics.
Annie Kaplan is Caleb's aunt and a doctor.
A delay in calling it.
Herself.
He had tried to intubate him and couldn't, broke all of his teeth.
Couldn't get the tube down.
Couldn't get the tube down his throat.
At a hospital a few days later,
broke all his teeth, couldn't get his tube down his throat.
Caleb died.
Perfectly healthy.
First time seeing this, now look, you can see it, you know, say the eyes are the windows to the soul, y'all.
Child. Bright, shiny, radiant, happy, beautiful boy. His body just organ failure.
Because of a dental procedure.
Yeah, because of a dental procedure.
We wanted to know how many other kids like Caleb and Nevaeh have been harmed at the dentist's office, but as we told you, there is no national data. So we called all 50 dental boards to see if the states are keeping track. The vast majority told us they are not.
So we went looking for ourselves in news articles and state disciplinary records dating back to 2010. We found out about the death of this teenager in Florida, this toddler in California.
You said Florida. Where you at? What was is this the Jacksonville? Was that the Jacksonville boy? Because she said Florida. Where you at? Forgot your name. Where you at? You in here somewhere. Let me know if that's him. I'm looking in the chat.
This 14-month-old baby and 4-year-old in Texas, and just last month, another teen in Texas. On social media, we found this video of Sean Dexter in Tennessee being rushed to the hospital in February after having his wisdom teeth pulled.
Did his mom do the right thing going to the ER?
Yes. If she hadn't, he might very well be dead.
And like I said, who was recording in the back seat? Because like they said, when they do these things, you have to make sure, but you know, recording, you know, if they were heading to the hospital in the midst of recording, but like they said, you know, it could cause, you know, it could cause your oxygen to be, you know, low. Sorry, I was just sharing with But what is that about, Margaret?
Sean survived, but it's impossible to know how many near misses like his are never reported.
If we were to tell you that we've found more than 50 cases of kids either dying or having bad outcomes because of sedation in a dental situation, does that surprise you?
Not at all. I wouldn't be surprised if there were more.
But is that number low relative to the number of procedures happening all over the country?
There are an awful lot of procedures happening all over the country, but I think that virtually every one of these deaths was preventable, and that's the tragedy.
And it's what's
Boom. They all are.
prompting calls for change.
It's not getting better, it's getting worse.
Nevaeh's attorney, Jim Moriarty, says widespread change may be difficult because dentists have an incentive to keep things the way they are: money. One training company suggested dentists could make an extra $12,000 a month if they offered sedation.
It's another procedure to sell the patient.
They can charge more for sedation.
Absolutely.
And can they also do more procedures while the kid is sedated?
Sure, because you got the kids sedated, they're not kicking and screaming and crying.
In Nevaeh's case, the Texas Dental Board revoked Nathaniel Jefferson's license, not just for what happened to Nevaeh, but for...
Vonnie Boo, you said the most important thing, you need to know your rights when it comes to that. Yes, know them.
doing unnecessary work on another child. She recently settled a lawsuit with Nevaeh's family and has admitted she should have called 911 sooner. In California, the state dental board revoked the permit Caleb's dentist, Michael Doucette, had to do general anesthesia. Caleb's family told us they have settled a lawsuit against
Thank
him,
you, Be Well
too.
Driven.
Doucette says Caleb's death was a tragedy that happened even though he had all the required training.
Right. It's too much for one person to do.
Caleb's family believes the routine practice of dentists doing anesthesia and dental work at the same time is unsafe and contributed to Caleb's death.
It's ridiculous that this is how it's done. And it shouldn't be tolerated.
The American Academy of Pediatrics agrees that dentists should stop multitasking when it comes to general anesthesia.
The idea of someone doing a procedure and also monitoring anesthesia, does that happen in other areas of medicine for children?
No, not if we can avoid it. I mean, that's just not the standard practice.
Caleb's family is turning their grief into action.
If we're able to pass this bill, it'll immediately save lives.
Caleb's Aunt Annie helped draft a bill that would require California dentists to have an anesthesia expert in the room when they give general anesthesia to kids younger than 7.
Pediatrics is higher risk.
Dr. Karen Seibert testified in support.
I'm regretfully here in opposition to a...
But California dentists and oral surgeons opposed the bill.
Opposed? The fuck? Why?
Some kids have died even when an anesthesiologist was in the room.
But the odds will be a lot less. The fuck?
There is no data to support that this mandate would improve safety.
Why do you think the oral surgeons are fighting this? Because they make more money administering the anesthesia while doing the procedure. They collect for both.
And that's the problem. They make more money doing something they don't have to do. But whatever, man.
There are folks on the other side who think you and your profession, not you personally, are doing this for the money.
That couldn't be further from the truth.
I would have said, well, do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy the money? Well, fuck that. I guess it's, professionalism. I'd have been like, I'm being unprofessional today. That's fucked up. Because I know that's the first thing come to mind, he says,
California oral surgeon Dr. George Marinon told us oral surgeons don't make that much money from doing anesthesia on young kids. And he says they have assistants to help monitor patients.
I feel that because of the training we have and the fact that we do this in our office every day, we provide a very safe mode of anesthesia for patients.
Here's the part I think people may find hard to understand is why is it not better to take all precautions, right? To have an extra person in the room who knows anesthesia.
The thing about it is, if there was evidence to support that the second anesthesia provider was safer, every oral surgeon would agree to have that change. The problem is there is no evidence.
Shouldn't we wait to get the data before making a major change to the way things have always been done?
I don't know if this is the way things have always been done. I mean,
that's what dentists say. They've done it this way for decades.
And kids have died maybe for decades. I mean, I think as we're getting better and smarter in medicine, let's get to the cream of this and get rid of every death that we can. Why would we wait?
The proposal in California did not pass that day, but partly because of the calls for change, the professional society that represents oral surgeons nationally tells us it plans to beef up their anesthesia training and collect better data. Wow. Caleb's family has vowed to keep fighting, and Nevaeh's mother wants other parents to learn from what happened to her little girl.
What should parents be asking?
First and foremost, who's going to be in the room? Who's going to be making sure that if something goes wrong, that my child's okay? And then we can follow up a question to say, how much experience do they have caring for children?
And it's okay for parents to ask those questions.
It's always okay for parents to ask questions.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that.
All right, let me turn this out real quick, cause hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me put the screen back up here. All right. Know the laws, know what you're doing, and never, ever, 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 ever let no one tell you that you can't be in the room with your child. Never be afraid to ask questions. Do not leave your children there alone. If you're too busy that day to stay, be too busy to leave them at all. All right? I don't want to speak too much on it. It's just, it's pure logic. You know, I sat back and I'm looking at this shit like, man, you know, and I'm pretty sure we've all been in a situation where we've been sedated. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like, you know, excessive, 3 times more, too much. What I'm hearing in these stories is we're fucking up. We're screwing up. We're dropping the ball. I think it was maybe once that you saw where everything went right and then the child dies. This shit is insane, man. Like, I'm watching this and I'm thinking, like, I didn't even know this happens. I thought it was like a rare situation where it happens. And who's to say what's not being reported? You know, who's to say that there's not a child every day that dies, or 2 or 3 or 4 around the country? Who's to say that this is not an often occurrence where brain damage is because of what they're doing? You know? Man. Pretty little girl's brain damage just gone like that. It's practically a vegetable because they're dropping the ball and not doing what they're supposed to do correctly. It's a crazy world we live in. I be thinking about my teeth and I think about the price I had to pay to go from having better teeth, you know. But what is the real reason behind all this? Are they really accidental deaths? Are there accidental after effects? Are they really? Or is this a part of organ harvesting? Just like they do in the hospital when quote unquote, we did the wrong thing here, we did the wrong thing there, we didn't mean to cut this artery, and we messed this up in surgery, he lost too much blood. You know, sort of like I'm in the hospital, and when I got discharged for congested heart failure. And I had went through so many tests in ICU where I was supposed to be getting an EKG, another CAT scan, and already took an AIDS test. I went through all of that, and the next thing they planned to do was an EKG. 3 hours later, they bring an oxygen machine in the fucking room and then bring me a paper and say, this is your diagnosis, congested heart failure. I went home, I'm on an oxygen machine, and I'm thinking I'll never be able to breathe properly without it. I have the machine, the little small little thingy thing, whatever you walk, you know, the one you can pull around the home, the little small little box that look like a fucking speaker, right? And I got the tank that I'll be able to roll around, you know, the little silver little fire extinguisher looking thing you can roll around with the little bag or whatever, you know what I mean? And I was so depressed. I was living with my mom. I was so depressed. I was like, I can't be no fucking vegetable, man. Can't do this shit. I'm 24 years old. This is not finna happen to me. You know what I'm saying? 24. You know what I mean? Some of y'all think back 24. Y'all be like, wow, it's a long time ago. Some of y'all might be 24 or somewhere in that range. I'm 35 today. I was 25. I gotta get it right. 2007. Yeah, 25. I'm bugging out as usual. But on the real, I gotten better. So those doctors were wrong. They were incorrect. Anyway, I don't want to hold y'all up. Margaret, do you have my email address? Yes or no? So reincarnated. I was on jury one time, selection part. I was behind 3 doctors and a nurse, and they were talking about x-rays and how bad they are for people. I was listening like, yeah, x-rays are bad. Yeah. In fact, radiation is very dangerous. Yeah. Really is. Margaret, do you have my email address? Yes or no? Margaret, she might be listening to a delay. Thank you, Shoe Girl Heels. Shoe Girl Heels. Yeah. Market. Okay, look here. Way too many, especially those who suffer from addiction. Look here, Margaret. I don't know what's going on. In the meantime, you send me an email because I don't know what you got going on. I don't want to talk about it in this video. There's my email, Margaret. Send me an email. And you can be unbanned because I don't know what you want to talk about. But whatever you want to talk about, my email address is right there. All right. And I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all share this video because this needs to get out. There's a bunch of stories I just wanted to do as minimum as I could do. This is very thoroughly broke down and it's thoroughly researched. And I appreciate Tiny. Y'all say thank you to Tiny over there. But she brought this to my attention. I had no idea this stuff happens like this. And I didn't have no idea that infants were getting stuff like this done either. Subcontroller. That's why I said Tiny needs a YouTube channel. She used to start making videos. This guy said, thank you. And for those who showed up late, dinners is and are considered the word organs. All right. And I think these children are being used as pawns on a chessboard by being put to sleep. Like I said, there's stories you probably never heard of, or we probably never will see them. But the ones you've seen today makes you think about something. Checking in, checking out.